Hello world, and welcome to the Common Sense Mazzoos and Talk Show here on this Wednesday, Hump Day, June 20th, 2018. This is a show where we discuss news from different news sources via the internet and discuss it in a common sense way, trying to bring the left and the right a little more together on a lot of these subjects. Just trying to weed through all the bullshit, fake news stuff. You could write in your suggestions to commonsenseman@gmail.com. That's common with a K. Or call in on my Skype number. You don't have to have a Skype account. Call in on this number, 805-994-0606. Let's get a live discussion going here on any one of these subjects. And I don't care if you're from the left, the far right, the middle, wherever. Call in. Let's get this thing going. Starting our news today, we're going to start with Fox News. I always like to start with them because they're always the most interesting. This is going to be a good one. This is going to be about immigration again, but this particular news thing that they're doing isn't. It says she doesn't understand. It's a picture of Clinton, mad dogging Kommon, kind of giving him the look there with the White House in the background, and a picture of him. It says ex-FBI boss Kommon hits back at Hillary, refuses to apologize for email probe. James Kommon fired back this week at Hillary after the former Secretary of State cited the Justice Department Inspector General report on her email because to challenge the premise of the investigation itself. Now, of course, it's interesting just to see this, and I'm not trying to bash Fox News. I guess maybe I am. But it's amazing how they changed their stance, and all of a sudden now they're backing Kommon with this article. It's just, you know what, let's put all this bullshit behind us. The email thing, the Russian thing. Let's put it all behind, because again, like I said before, if you want to start investigating corrupt politicians, we're going to have to shut down the government and shut down this country itself, because I'm sure there's a lot of corrupt shit that goes on. There's probably a lot of shit that goes on that we don't even want to know that goes on, and I don't want to try to understand it all. I'm just a regular little voter. I just want to go about my day and do what I do. But anyways, that's the deal with Fox News. Going over to CNN, okay, the big thing still is Trump's gamble with immigrant lives. You know, the president treasures his political base at the point that a climb down over traumatized kids is unthinkable. So in other words, he's dodging this whole kid thing, which is very critical, because you shouldn't, again, the immigrants shouldn't, you know, they should be responsible.
These are laws that have been broken for many years, decades.
They shouldn't be bringing their kids over here like that and risking their lives. I understand that, but still, we don't need to keep them separated and keep them in cages. But this is what President Trump says about it all, and he's just this is some stupid shit again. The fake news is not mentioning the safety and security of our country when talking about illegal immigration. The kid thing has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with this. Our immigration laws are the weakest and worst anywhere in the world. They may be, and the Dems will do anything not to change them and to obstruct and want open borders, which means crime. Is that really the truth? Is that the truth? The really old Democrats, they want open borders and just everybody to come in? I find that hard to fucking believe. Actually, I don't believe it. I think that's far from the truth. I think both sides are so far from reality with each other. They need to really just sit down and talk this shit out, because that can't be the case. I can't imagine that all Democrats want open borders and everybody come. I just can't imagine that. I think that's just a bullshit line on Trump's part right there, and I'm going to end it like that. CNBC, Fed Chair Powell calls case strong for more interest rate hikes. Again, CNBC is more on the financial part of it, which I don't really... Unless someone calls in and wants to talk about it, that's it. Fast check, what's really going on with migrant kids being detained. There's an article there on USA Today. Again, you know, it's just it's a tough one. That's a tough one, but it should be resolved. Trump should put some effort into that instead of putting it back on the Democrats of wanting an open border, which is, I can't imagine. Get me the main, Democratic Party for them to tell me, hey, no, seriously, Eric, we want open borders. We want everybody with murders and stuff to come in here openly. I just find that hard to believe. BBC, global outcry rises over U.S. border policy. Republicans scramble to draft a new bill after uproar over migrant children being caged alone. Caged. Man, that's going to be traumatic. I don't care what kid you are from where you're at. That's traumatic. Man, that's traumatic, and I don't think the kids should be put that. That's my opinion. And on a side note, Trump, the Secretary of Home Defense, got booed at a restaurant, Mexican restaurant in Washington, D.C., got booed out where she had to actually leave. So good for the people who are standing up. People are speaking. And even hardcore Republicans, I can't imagine that they would want any type of child abuse going on with any type of child. Children shouldn't be part of this whole bullshit political deal going back and forth between they said, they, blah, blah, blah. They shouldn't be part of that. Anyways. Going to sports, nothing really happened. The World Cup was fully underway. Portugal just beat Morocco with a goal by Ronaldo. He is the leading scorer in the World Cup. That's about it for the sports news. Going over to TMZ, Homeland Security Secretary, that's one I was just talking about, got booed out of a restaurant. Did you hear babies crying? Everybody was chanting at her. And then here's one from Peter Fonda. I didn't even realize he was still alive. Peter Fonda, Rip Barron from Melanie's arms, get Trump's attention. So what is he referring to? Peter Fonda is so fired up about children in detention camps, he might have just crossed a dangerous line by suggesting Melanie Trump should be separated from her child. And here's the tweet, one of the tweets. We should rip Barron Trump from his mother's arms and put him in a cage with pedophiles and see if the mother will stand up against the giant asshole she is married to. 90 million people on the streets on the same weekend in the country. Fuck. I don't know exactly what that all means. He is getting old, but he is alive, and it's kind of funny. Everybody's getting behind it. And again, I think even if I can go take a poll right now of just random 20 people, which I'm sure half of them are going to have Republican views, and I'm sure most of them will say no. There shouldn't be child abuse. They shouldn't be caged. Anyways, we're going to end it at that. Going over to travel leisure, new study says millennials are the worst at tipping. Go figure. That they say that almost 10% of millennials don't even tip, and when they do, it's shitty tip. So you millennials out there, learn how to tip. Even when you're traveling, tip. You get better service. They deserve it. Now, if you get shitty service or shitty food, yeah, you still should tip something. Unless you absolutely get the worst service ever, then yeah, I've done that. Rarely have I done that where I don't tip. But for the most part, I always tip. I always try to give at least 20%. And if it's a place I frequent, I give more. And sometimes it doesn't even matter because you're going to get you're going to get that back in the long run in service. Okay, that's going to end it for today. Child immigration was the big thing. It's still going to be the big thing probably all week. But here's a quote here from my one of my Facebook friends. It's actually a quote from Bill Murray, one of my favorite actors. It's a quick one. Social media is training us to compare our lives instead of appreciating everything we are. No wonder why everyone is always depressed. Keep that in your mind right there. That's going to end it for today. Hump Day Wednesday. We'll see you on Thirsty Thursday. Have a great day. Again, subscribe to my channel. Call in, subscribe. Common Sense Managers and Talk Show here on YouTube. Let's get this sucker going. And peace, love, keep it real. See you on Thursday.